Tuesday night tune, Joel Taney. It just makes my blood run cold with excitement. I love it. St. Ricketts. Yeah, baby. St. Ricketts with Fire Cannot Burn. www.saintricketts.com. It, of course, is the theme song to our lovely program. 100% live. It's the You Show.
You.
I am Jeff the Shark Perini. Snowman in the morning. Brian Snow already in the house. He loves the song. Thank you, dude. We love that song too, man. It just really gets me stoked for it. With me, as always, on another Tuesday night, the co-hostess with the mostest, the sister from another mister, and somebody sporting a darling new hairdo. I like the kind of retro-ish, off to the side, kind of lightly curled look of the beautiful Joel Taney. Joel, good evening.
Good evening, Jeff. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. I am absolutely great. I do love the hairdo. It looks tremendous tonight.
Well, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
I feel kind of a little Y2K. I have like silver going on. I don't know. I used to wear a lot of silver in my teen years, so I feel kind of retro.
I love it. Yeah, man. Snowman in the morning. Get it again. www.saintricketts.com. One word. Saintricketts.com. With Fire Cannot Burn. I, of course, am wearing pink on my head. I know it's just like a regular kind of Insta-made bandana. Pink wristlet as well. In honor of my wife, Cassie, fighting breast cancer. Of course, it was the first day of treatment. And she feels great, Joel. She's already ready to go to the gym. We got some company over the house, hanging out. She's talking and laughing and having a great time. She's a warrior, man. She's going to kick its ass.
Yes. She's a true beast, and nothing but love for you, Cassie, as the little finger man.
Say good evening to our special guest, Finger Man, in the house.
Come here, you. She wants to get in so bad.
Let's get her. Good evening, young ladies. It's lovely tonight. She's got a little like darkest pinkish on too, in honor, of course, our amazing.
I did my own eyeshadow and that the bad.
It looks great.
At least I got a little buddy thing over.
You got to make sure you got to come over sometime and do my eyeshadow because I
want you to do his makeup. You could do that, yeah.
I've got like my eyes look very dark because I've tried to change the lighting so it doesn't blind out the Funko Pops. Now I've got shadows over both eyes. I look horrible at night. Anyway.
No, it's cool. It's Yo Show After Dark.
Yeah. Whoa, baby. If it's that kind of program, I guess I got to get family program.
Jesus.
All my seat lifts just caved. Now I'm like sitting on the ground again. It's a disaster. Nothing beats live webcasting.
Look at the pillows propping them up.
I know, man. I
have pillows too. I know it's a long show.
Right.
And hang in there.
I'm so short. If I don't use a pillow, I'm like sitting on the ground. There we go. That's better. I'm as tall as you are this week. Yeah, I'm good. Like last week, I was like here, and you're like all the way up here.
I know. I feel short tonight.
I feel better now. We are here. We are live. We are ready. Jewel, no guest last week. We're supposed to have the amazing Madeline Zima. Last minute scheduling switch, and she had to cancel on us. No problem. Me and Jewel handled it, locked it down. But tonight, we have a great guest. A wonderful singer, multi-instrumental musician, and she's lovely as well. The one and only Chrissi Poland. Yes.
She's amazing.
She is. She's striking that Loso pose, too.
Yes.
Loso. Yo-show. Got Loso on the brain, too. We'll get to that in a few minutes. That's been on my brain as well. But, yeah, so she's going to be on. We have one of our songs, the brand new Wanna Be You. That'll be on tonight. We'll play that shortly. Expect Chrissi around 8:30. And a top 5 list, Jewel, just in honor of that. Notice I put in parentheses so you knew why the hell I picked that. Anyway.
I gathered.
Thanks, because we're running out of ideas. Top 5 favorite songs with you in the title. Not you like usual, but you.
We should do that. Like songs with our name. I have none.
Yeah. There's one. There's that. And it's not even, my name's in the song, but not in the title. I'll have to get it here for you sometime.
What is it?
It's a song by, God, what the hell's the band name? I don't even remember it. I'll get it for you.
See, my sister's lucky because she's Angel. There's a million Angel songs.
There's a million Angel songs.
And Sharon, we always sung like My Sharona to her. My Sharona.
I like that.
Yep.
I used,
Not
to
me.
have a friend, I used to have a friend, Melissa, who was obsessed with that song, Sweet Melissa.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good song,
Yes.
too. Love that song. All right, so the top 5 songs with you in the title. These are my top 5. There's no official ranking. If you look and you say, oh, Rolling Stone magazine didn't have any of these. It's perfectly okay. And at number 5, one of my favorite all-time bands, and one of their all-time great songs, You, by Candlebox. Can't get easier than that.
Right?
It's got You in the title. You is the title, for God's sakes. Number 4, one of my favorite bands, and one of my favorite songs from them, Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, from the Terminator 2 soundtrack.
Really?
Let me make sure I got that right. Jesus Christ, I'm a mess. One of my favorite songs, a song I like to dance to with the ladies, of course, it is I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos.
With the ladies, huh?
Well, back in the day it was the ladies. Now it's just a lady. Would I be wearing a pink tie on my head if it was ladies? No, it's lady.
Very naughty.
Number 2, classic rock, The Who. Who Are You?
Whew, whew.
Yeah, get it. Who the fuck is you?
Okay, Jill, we're going to get censored.
Oh my God, that's right. I'm like singing the
No
actual
more
song.
than 15 seconds. That's what we realized.
That's why I kept it to 5. And number 1, in honor of her, in honor of this bandana and all this great things, my wedding song, the one and only Motley Crue's Without You.
Oh,
I love that song. It's my wedding song. We had a kind of like a rock themed wedding, and of course I had to get that song. We went over hundreds of songs, and I'm like, how about this one? She's like, I gotta tell you, I love this song. And here we go.
that's very cute.
Thank
Nice.
You. Thank you.
Nice number one.
I'm very sweet. So,
Okay.
Jewel Teddy, give us 5 songs with you in the title.
Okay. Yeah, once you think about it, there's a million, so you really have to
I
like narrow it down,
No,
right?
I kind of stopped at number 7,000. I'm like, I think I'm.
Yeah, I know I missed a bunch that I probably wanted on here, but it's fine. Number 5, I Want You by the Beatles.
Yeah,
The other night we were listening to like Across the Universe soundtrack too, and that just has a great version of it too. It's very it's more hardcore than the original. Number 4, had to get her on the list, but it's Lana Del Rey with Without You. It was on her one of her first albums. Number 3, this is my mom and dad's wedding song, and it's For You by John Denver. And it was funny because Joey's like, I'm going to write a song. She's all about writing songs. She's like, I'm going to write a song, and it's going to be for you, Mom. And I'm going to call it For You. I'm like that was my mom and pap's song. And I played it for her on the car ride home, and she started crying. She's like, this is so emotional. I'm like, yeah, it's a sad song. Number 2, Thank You by Led Zeppelin.
That is a great call. That was actually number 6 on my list. Great call.
Chris Cornell did an amazing version of that too, so props to that. And number 1, because it's on every playlist I ever made all through high school years and everything, but You Got Me by The Roots, Erykah Badu.
Very nice.
Yep, it's my jam.
There was some, like, I was stoked for some, like, I make the list up and I'm like, all right, I got this. Like, You Really Got Me by the Kinks. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. And all these You songs.
Written by Prince.
Exactly. Yes, good call. So I make I make it out, and Thank You, of course, was like right there. And then I make the list. I'm like, I forgot all the songs I was going to put down. But great job. Let's rehash again.
That's quick.
Let's rehash. Top 5 songs with you in the title. And I had number 5, Candlebox's You. Number 4, You Could Be Mine by Guns N' Roses. Number 3, I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos. Who Are You by the Who. And my wedding song, Without You by Motley Crue. And then Jewel Teddy came back with a wonderful list. I Want You by the Beatles. Lana Del Rey's Without You. For You by John Denver. Thank You by Led Zeppelin. And number 1, You Got Me by the Roots. I like how we did that there as well. Did you spill?
Dude, like almost. That was close.
Dude, nothing is worse than an on-air spill. I'm telling you, the night you were,
Beer.
beer tonight. You weren't even there tonight. It was Tiffany. Tiffany was holding down the fort that night, and as soon as the show started, I spilled a beer all over.
I was gonna say, I'm sure she didn't smell.
No, 100% me. So while we're on the subject, I cannot spill beer because this beer here is classic gold. It is Loso Brewing Company's Brownsville Bonfire Ale, and as we know, the fall beer season is coming around, so keep an eye out for Brownsville. But the other thing, Jewel Teddy, of course, as you saw on Facebook yesterday, to the tune of about 7,000 people reached and a couple hundred comments and all that good stuff, Loso Brewing Company gave us a little sneak peek of the front door.
Oh!
That's right, a little front door sneak peek. We, of course, announcing at Loso Brewing Company's future home announcement, 1850 Brownsville Road. That is the Trevose Shopping Center in Trevose, PA, right in the corner. There's a great amount of stores there. Planet Fitness is there, a dance studio, hair salon, nail salon, Primo's Hoagies, Trevose Pizza, a lot of great places, and it's the future home of Loso Brewing Company. Go to www.losobrewingcompany.com for updates, beer selections, where to currently find us on tap, and of course coming soon within a few months' time, our very own tap room. There's the front door. Of course, the doors will probably look different. Everything will look different. A lot of construction to do, but it's going to be beautiful, Jewel. And I was so stoked. We put it on Facebook yesterday, and I'm telling you, 7,000 plus people have seen it, reached it, responded with the whole 9 yards. So
That's amazing.
thank you. Very excited. I'm very excited to do that. And of course, I drink one of their famous beers in honor of that.
Did that just happen? Because I drove by Friday. I had to stop in that shopping center, and I didn't see anything. So that's recent, right?
We put the banner up yesterday. I was
Wow.
there. Yeah, I dropped off. We pick up and drop off empty, so we're supplying the empty kegs there for now, and some material that's coming in and drywall and all that kind of stuff. So I'm in there, and I'm looking around like, look, man, tons of leaves and all that stuff from years of vacancy. So I'm brooming and pushing, and then a couple of partners called and said we're bringing up more drywall. So we hung around. We unloaded the drywall, just took a look around, and it's like, yeah, it's banner time. So we scraped all the stickers off the window, laid the banner there for everybody to kind of see and get a feel of what's coming soon. So, keep in check with my Facebook page. Hell, the Yo Show, we're in close company with the fellas, that website, and get ready. It's coming.
That is so exciting. It's such a great location, like easy to get to from the city, from anywhere, from the burbs, anywhere. So excited for you.
Thank you. It's very exciting to be a part of. I absolutely cannot wait. And a lot of good things are going to happen there, and we're going to work in the Yo Show somehow. We'd like to do it live from there. That's in negotiation. We're definitely going to get some of our great bands that come on this show to play there and kind of match up. A lot of them have already asked. Hell, people from Canada have already asked to come down and perform. So let's see what we can do. Let's blow it all up.
That would be the dream.
I know, right? We're totally we're inching towards the dream. Hell, I finally got myself a decent microphone.
Yeah.
Headsets at work. 2 weeks in a row. No glitch. So we're getting there.
Knocking on wood.
And imagine showing up every week to actually watch our show live, drink great beer, and get to see Jewel Tady live in person and signing autographs.
Yeah. Line them up.
Lining them. I'd line up for one of them autographs.
My God.
So much to talk about and do. Eagles' first preseason game, Jewel. Football season right around the corner. I don't watch preseason.
No?
Not at all. No, I hate it. I watch the first drive of every game. I watch the starters just to see them come out. And then it's pretty much a pissing contest of like third and fourth string guys to see who's going to try and make the biggest play, and it just looks ridiculous. And I appreciate the people that are out there. They post on social media, pictures of them being there, etc. But I can't get into it. But are you ready for some football season? It's only a few short weeks away.
I know. I'm excited. I do. I love the Eagles. I know, I don't know much about it, but I do watch. And yeah, I've never been to a regular season game. I've only been to preseason. So I don't know. Don't know what it's like, and that's sad.
It's an experience. Even whether they're good or bad, there's definitely an experience. It's definitely something you want to check out at least once. It's a fantastic experience. I'm a sit at home and watch guy because I follow fantasy sports and all these pick'em pools and etc. So I like to watch the game from the comfort of my own house. But yeah, going down is definitely a treat. Something you have to try at least once in your life.
Yeah, how does that work if you're in like fantasy and you're there at the game? Like,
you got to have your phone ready, man, so you can set lineups on your phone.
It's so much work.
It is a lot of work. Last year I was in 7 leagues. I think I've cut it down to 4.
7?
Yes, 7.
Oh my!
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Whew.
And you're playing against your own guy from one team, and he's on another team in another league, and it's a lot of work.
Wow.
Man. I got time for all that work.
Did you just ever have anyone who like didn't pay attention the entire day, or was like sleeping, and then you had to like yell at them?
No, everybody's pretty sharp. When money's on the line, people are pretty sharp about putting their lineups in. Like, except for later in the season when your team's like out of the playoffs and he's got like nobody in his lineup. It happens.
Yeah.
Never happens to me. I refuse to quit. I refuse to roll over. Even if I'm the worst team in the league, I'm still coming at you every week with a full lineup. It's just the way I do it.
Yeah. That was me. And then I got kicked out and yelled at. I'm sorry.
That's good stuff. Let's play. Have a little music. I like music. You like music?
Yes.
All right. So tonight's very special guest is Chrissi Poland. A song that's been out, roughly 2 weeks, brand new. It's called "Wanna Be You." I think it's groovy. I absolutely dig it. So let me load up the great technology here and I'll set it up for you. Little share screen, little share audio, little Chrome tag tip. Earl Rains in the house. Earl, good evening. Earl, you're just in time for some music. We're going to play some music from tonight's guest, Chrissi Poland. She's a lovely young lady. And this song is it's very upbeat and cheery. I like it. It's called "Wanna Be You." And we're going to play it right here on the Yo Show. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy, everybody.
Leave him alone. He don't wanna be bothered. He don't wanna be aggravated by your demands. You give him the phone, he's gonna go quiet. Not really a long distance conversation man, but he's so full of hope. Sees poetry around him. Looks out of the window and feels the beauty that surrounds him. Baby, I'm talking to you. All you ever got to do is wanna be you, wanna be you, wanna be you. Still waters run deep. She's no exception. Sometimes that worry keeps her up all through the night. But she sees in color, sees indifference. She's a conscious soul, her mother raised her right, alright. She's so full of hope, sees poetry around her. Looks out of the window and feels the beauty that surrounds her. Baby, I'm talking to you. All you ever got to do is wanna be you, wanna be you, wanna be you. Oh, 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 oh. Every little thing about you is the way you ought to wanna be. Oh, 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 oh. Every little thing about you is the way you ought to wanna be. You're so full of hope, seeing poetry around you. You look out of the window and feel the beauty that surrounds you. Baby, I'm talking to you. All you ever got to do is wanna be you, wanna be you, wanna be you. Oh, 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 oh,
All right. Fantastic, upbeat, positive, wonderful song. Wanna Be You. Jewel Tavy, hit me with it. What do you think?
I love the song. I'm sure that Chrissy's going to come on here and give us nothing but positivity. That's what the song's all about. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk to her. And she's great music. She's worked with so many fantastic people. So
Wow.
she's going to have some stories, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And nothing I love more than the backstage feature, because right near the end of the song, Chrissy pops on. And, it's got to be kind of neat. You see your own video, you see your own song being played. She cracks a little smile, she watches it, and it's just great. We love doing it here. We love musicians and artists. And let's bring her out right now without any delay. An awesome musician, multi-talented, from New York, the lovely and talented Miss Chrissi Poland. Chrissy, good evening.
Hey, good evening. How are you guys?
We are fantastic, and I am super excited to have you here. I absolutely love the song. It's terrific. I've listened to it probably about 4 or 5 times leading up to it. A couple times yesterday, a couple times today, and Jewel always does me the luxury of sending me the clips and the email. I go right to YouTube and I find a video of it, and boom, there I go. So I love doing that, and it's an excellent video as well.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for listening and having me on, and that positive feedback means a lot to me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you want to go into more about what the song's about and the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, sure. So I wrote the song with sort of the idea in mind of kind of wanting to put a message out there of being true to who you really are, especially for young little people coming up in the world, because it's when it's the hardest, especially when you get into the teen and the tween years. I was thinking about it, and I was kind of writing the chords on the piano and trying to think of something that I connected with that kind of said my message the way that I wanted to, and I kept coming back to that line, "Want to be you, want to be you." So the song kind of evolved from there, just sitting at the piano writing the words, and then over time I had it all in the point of view of he, and then I switched it to he and she in the verses. So one verse is he and one verse is she, to make it feel a little bit more universal. And yeah, it struck me. I don't often feel like emotional about my own music, but often when I'm playing, like, I get choked up about it when I'm playing the song. And I think that's because I have a lot of personal connections to it. I have a lot of LGBTQ friends, family members, some who are very young, some who have lived out their lives wonderfully, some one family member who passed away from AIDS back in the 90s, who never really had the chance to live their authentic life. So the message feels very close to me, and it's something I feel very strongly about and want to advocate for, for the rest of my life. So that's really where I'm coming from with it.
That's outstanding. We've had several guests on our show who are part of that community, gay, lesbian, etc. And we welcome them here. They're always great artists. They always have great messages, and I'll be damned if they're not just the most upbeat and positive people all the time too. Because they want to be heard. They want their message to be heard, and it's great. And the video is great with you got that peace flag and all the different things that. It seems pretty easy, right? Just be peaceful, try to get along, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny, you mentioned the flag, so that there's actually a movement with those flags. It's called the Peace Flag Movement. Anybody who wants one of those flags can get one for free. There's a website called peaceflagmovement.org, and they'll send it to you just for the cost of shipping. So if it costs a couple of dollars to mail it to you, they'll ship it anywhere. And it's just about exactly that, creating awareness and trying to bring people together through conversations, no matter what your political standing is or whatever, just trying to find common ground and move the world to a more peaceful place.
Excellent. I dropped it down there, peaceflagmovement.org. My quick fingers. I'm getting better at this every week, Joel.
Yes, you are.
On-the-spot advertising and all. So let's talk a little bit about your background. I read that from a small town in Massachusetts, your whole family was musical, so you kind of grew up with music. What's it like? What's it like growing up just surrounded by music? I'm a music junkie. I know Jules as well, and it's got to be a great feeling. How was it in your early years being around music all the time?
Yeah, so it's always sort of around. My dad had a band when he was in high school. He was the drummer and he sang, and so there's always drums and percussion in my house and instruments. And I always just gravitated to it. I would grab my parents' old records and put stuff on their record player, and get my tapes and my CDs that were my stuff, and just listen, sit at the piano, figure it out, listen, figure it out, go to the drum, figure out a beat. And I was just always sort of free to like do that whenever. Which I love. I love that, especially for young kids. Just have a lot of instruments laying around. Let them gravitate to whatever they want to gravitate to. Have it available. So that was what it was like for me. Any kind of theater show or band thing I could get into, I would do. And then I spent a few years at Berklee College of Music studying, and then just packed my bags and moved to New York.
It's outstanding. It's a great move too.
Yeah.
Great move.
So how was the transition, like going into New York and like getting your first real gig? Like, how was that?
Oh my God, it was crazy. I did grow up in a very small town. So when I first went to New York and moved there, I moved into a basement apartment in Rego Park, Queens, which is not really near the city. It's far. And I lived 20-minute walk from the subway. So I had to walk 20 minutes to get to the subway.
Wow.
And there was no kitchen in the apartment. It was like a little kitchenette with like a hot plate or whatever. And I was like, I've made it! I'm in New York! I was so excited. I'd walk to the subway and I'd see like the bodegas and the fruit stands and like just stuff I did not grow up around, and was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And every night I would get on the train and I'd go right into the Village, and I'd go into any club that had live music and ask the band if I could sit in.
Wow.
And just try to take that moment to like throw down everything I had and connect with people, give out my name, my number, just try to make myself known, and it went from there.
That's awesome. Especially at 21 years old and being in New York, but I guess like you have to be around where the big scene is, of course. And
You do.
Got seen, of course, it's paid off. You play multiple instruments, I read. Like, what do you play? Which one's your favorite? And obviously we heard, hey, you kind of got into them, but what do you play? Do you play all the instruments on your albums and cut them? Or?
No, it really depends. When it comes to recording, sometimes I'll play percussion, or I'll want to add. I'll have an idea for a drum part, so I'll do a makeshift drum part. But I'll always bring in a ringer to play it. I play piano, keyboards. I always play live. Often these days, if I'm doing live shows, it's either solo, maybe duo. I haven't done a lot of band shows for my own music in a long time, so I'm always playing keys on that. A little bit of guitar. Often we'll play cajon. Sometimes they call it the box drum. It's the drum you sit on.
Yes.
And you kind of bend over and play it.
Yeah.
So I'll play that and sing often on shows, and sometimes in the recording studio too. I have some videos up on YouTube of just live in studio playing the cajon and singing a bunch of different stuff. So those are probably like my three favorite stations of instruments to play that I'm the best at.
That's really cool. Questlove just put up a video of Karen Carpenter. I sent it to my father because he's big into music too. But he said it's really hard to play drums and sing at the same time. Mm-hmm. What do you think is most difficult to play and sing?
For me, when I'm playing the cajon, it's pretty simple because it's just, my two hands and whatever pattern I can play, and that comes very naturally to me. When I'm playing a kit, if I'm playing a full drum kit and singing, and I start to move away from just kick, snare, and hi-hat, if I start to like go into a fill or anything that kind of shifts the groove, I can lose it real quick. I'm not a professional drummer. I'm like basic meat and potatoes, kick, snare, hi-hat. I have unbelievable appreciation for musicians that can play a full drum kit, sing, and still keep track of every single thing that's happening on stage. Phil Collins could do it, Karen Carpenter could do it, Shaka Khan could do it. There's a multitude of them that can do it, but that's incredibly difficult to do, and blows my mind the people that can master those two skills.
That's pretty awesome. I took drum lessons for a few months, and I couldn't even really like chew gum and drum because like I am so bad, and my feet cannot sit still, and I'm one of them guys that's foot kicking everything. And now you mentioned, you do solo acts, you also do duo, and I got to ask this question because this blows me away. You have a part-time touring gig as a duet with Michael Bolton. Tell us how this came about, and tell us what it's like to share the stage with such a big name. I thought that was awesome when I read that.
It's really fun, man. He's fantastic. He still sounds great, and it's a trip for me because when I was like 12 years old, the biggest singers on the radio, pop radio, was him, Mariah Carey, and Celine Dion. It was like the big, that was the time when they were just like big singers with big voices on the radio.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, these people, they sing these big songs, these big melodies, it's so cool. And I was really into it. I remember being like, even before that, I remember his record, those early couple of records that came out, and he was like 90 or something, 91, and I had a poster of him on my wall. And I still laugh about that today because they're so tense. We're singing, how am I supposed to, together. And I'm like, oh my God, you were on my wall. What is life? How did this happen?
Did you tell him that? Like,
yes.
You were on my wall.
We were coming back from some tour in like Japan. We were bleary-eyed sitting in the airport. And I was like, you want to hear a funny story? Tell them about it. But no, it came about some very good friends of mine are actually from New York, were in the band already, and they were looking for a vocalist. And they called me and they said, he needs somebody to do these duets. They need somebody who can sing soul, but sing like, really big pop stuff too. Are you interested? I was like, oh my God, of course. And he had just put out a record of all of his hits that he recorded, I believe with the London Symphony Orchestra. So all orchestrated, all those like big hits, but with an orchestra. So all the touring dates that we've been doing have been with orchestras or with string sections. It's been really fun. And it's so fun to sing those songs and to be on those big stages and with that big audience. It's always a thrill. I love it.
Yeah, I'm assuming with orchestra, between orchestra and being next to Michael Bolton, you really have to belt it out. Are there nights where you're like, whew, like it takes a lot out of you? Is it really hard to keep up with that kind of music? It's
definitely, some of it can be like Olympic level vocalizing. But, I'm just I just take, I have to, I'm not going to go out like partying the night before and stay up all night. I really it is a thing especially with singing where it's in your body. So if you're tired, you can't pull it off the way you might be able to like on piano or on keys or whatever. So definitely I'm like taking care of the voice, doing a lot of vocal warm-ups beforehand, making sure I'm on point because it's definitely something you want to nail every time.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure things have changed now. I just saw him on the dating show with Zoe Deschanel. It's so funny, and he just plays a great role in that. Mm-hmm. But how has the tour life changed, like with the last couple years?
Gosh, it went to zero last March. Like everyone just went gone. And so we all of us had to pivot really quickly. It gave us the opportunity to finish our recording projects that we were all working on. So many of my musician friends, like I finished the record real fast, or I finished a bunch of new singles because everything else went away.
Sure.
So you had the time to hyper focus. As far as playing live, everybody turned to live streaming. And that was actually very cool because it did give people a chance to play, connect with fans, and people would pay. They'd buy a ticket or they'd donate. So it was still a way to make some money, keep your chops up, play music, and try to keep your artistic ball rolling forward. So that was cool. And as far as live music goes, I only started playing my first shows. Like I had my first solo show in, I think it was June. So just a few months ago. First time I had played since February of 2020. Yeah. It was weird. I was nervous and like, I had to like practice for days ahead of time. So I'm like, how do you do this again? It's like trying to play. And then with Michael, we just had a show with the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra a few weeks ago, and that was the first time we had all played since March 2020. So it's starting to come back, but it's still, everybody's still a little like, is this okay? Is this okay?
Yeah,
know.
it's you know, it's you're not completely sure, and we've had tons of guests, and everybody's going different ways. Some have been more creative, some have kind of shut down and taken it all in. Some bands have gotten together, like I said, and just done a stream for fans. Jewel and I, the same thing. Jewel and I used to do this in the studio.
Yeah.
We had live guests come in, and one day we shut down. I scrambled and talked to some of our mentors in this business. They said, try StreamYard. Try going face to face to face, and we love it. And it's a great way for people to get to see us,
Yeah.
see our great artists, and we appreciate everybody that comes on here. It's absolutely excellent.
That's cool.
You've got 4 albums out, 3 EPs rather. Excuse me. You got a brand new one coming out, Destination Home, coming out in October. Tell us more about that upcoming EP, because it's definitely exciting. It's got to be exciting when you got new stuff coming out. And Mike, and another question to you as well, a two-parter, if you will.
Yes.
How do you hold back the anticipation? Like, don't you want it out today?
You know, it's funny. I go back and forth with that of like, oh, I just want to like get it out there and like, what's next? But it is nice to enjoy the process of a slow rollout. So like, you know, going single by single by single, giving each song some life, because now in this, you know, very, you know, digital heavy world where it's kind of gone back to like, you know, in the 80s, there was like tape singles, and they would do like, you know, that kind of thing. And it's kind of gone back to the world of singles with streaming now. So it's kind of nice to take a little while and, you know, design a cover for each song and, you know, just kind of really like make it a full thing instead of just tossing it out there. So that's been cool. And the downtime during COVID allowed me to do all that like on the back end. So I had it all ready to go. So now that life's getting busy again, everything's sort of ready and we can kind of like roll it out, and it's all, what's the next one? I'll pull it off the shelf. Here we go. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't want to cut you off, Jewel, but I got to sneak in another question. How does a young lady like you know anything about 80s music?
Well,
Come on now.
I do have to say, I have been told that I'm a bit of an old soul in that I do love so much of the music that and always did. You know, I was a 90s kid and I was listening to stuff from the 70s and the 80s. I always loved that stuff.
Yeah.
Even, you know, today, you know, we always have 50s and 60s music blasting in my house. So it's just stuff that I gravitate to and love. And pull a lot from those styles. Like when I'm writing my own music, I have so much of those different eras of influence. Like you can hear the subgenres in my music. Even on this record, there's like some 70s funky sounding stuff, and there's like some 60s girl group sounding stuff. It's just sort of what comes out of my brain.
Yeah, and you've been compared to the likes of like Sarah Bareilles. Like, who do you listen to, like modern artist wise?
Yes, I love Sarah Bareilles. Who else have I been? You know, I have to say, I am so blown away recently by Billie Eilish's creativity.
Terrific.
I love her.
I just like. I know when you see something that comes out and it's like the most popular thing in the world, and you know, I'm always like, oh, everybody loves this. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then I really dug in. I listened to the first project that her and her brother made, and then I was like, oh, these guys are deep. There's some serious stuff here. Okay. Then this record that came out, like
Happier Than Ever.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, it takes you like, I didn't think it was going to go there, and then she just went off on it. So
yeah, I was really like almost shocked. I've been like, how you two are children, and you're like their lyrical and their melodic abilities are so incredible. And then also like I'm pretty sure they're making these records in their freaking bedrooms, like, by themselves.
No, they're like geniuses, and combined, like, these are my children. They're two musical geniuses. But yeah, the new album is definitely like blew me away. So
totally, I was so impressed. I'm so impressed with her vocal nuance and the way that she just sings like she's got 40 years of experience of singing, which is so impressive to hear. And
storytelling.
Yes, and storytelling. And you see that in an artist that really makes it. Every like decade or so, there's somebody that's like makes it big in the pop world that really has that like, oh, you really do have that thing. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's not like the industry making some hot thing come out. That's a
Right.
special vibe. So I'm so impressed with that. I was influenced by the stuff I heard. It inspired me. I wanted to like go to my piano and write more. And I don't usually feel that way from like new stuff that's coming out. And that gave me hope for the future. I'm like, okay, music is going in the right
Yeah, I
direction.
know, right? Yeah.
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 I think people really dug deep this past year too, and like came out with some fire
Yes.
albums.
Definitely. Totally.
And you mentioned somebody like Billie Eilish, and it seems like the industry, like the first crack is, all right, let's pretty them up, let's give them great social media presence and pictures, but there's a lot of talent in there. Do you feel nowadays it's like kind of overkill? Like, hey, let's present your look before we present your music, because there's great talent out there that you got to listen to first. And you talk about the '80s. Back in the '80s, it was you listen, and then a video comes out, and then you
Right.
get to appreciate it.
Yeah, I think today because we live in a completely instant gratification culture because of the
Yeah,
internet
perfectly put. Yeah.
yeah, it's even with photographs. You take a picture, you see it the second you take it. There's no waiting, there's no anticipation. So
There's no shaking it like the Polaroid.
no, unless you like doing it for a novelty at a wedding as a wedding guest or something. But I think, okay, so that's the reality. That's the way it is. So instead of fighting it, it's like, okay, how do we get involved with that and create our own universe within that? Because the upside of how everything is now is that there's no rules. You can do whatever you want because it's really your platform is your platform. And the way I see it is if you're authentic and you're honest, and whether it's you're putting out your look first or you're putting out music and then a video, whatever you do, if it's real and it's good, it's going to draw people in. You're going to get an audience somewhere. To what level it goes to, who knows? There's so many factors involved. But I feel like that's, our best bet these days as artists to just, hustle within your world, put your best material forward and see where it takes you.
I like that. A lot of our artists mentioned how they like the new approach of dropping a single at a time, getting it on Spotify, Apple, etc. Let people get that piece of it, one song at a time to get to learn it. I like it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm into it too. I think it's cool. I think that because it is just a very quick-paced world now with technology. I think that, you put a whole album up there, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, people tend to listen to like 30 seconds, and they
Yes.
it tends to almost be too much now. And if you
Yeah.
fight it, it's like, don't fight it, just like, let's join the times and make it your own, do it your own way, be innovative within the time.
Love it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. I have to say, like, your social media platform, I mean, your Instagram is just riddled with these huge names and actors and musicians alike. I mean, you're on stage with James Taylor and Bette Midler and Sam Moore. It's just insane. So what are your, like, you got to tell us some stories, I guess.
I'd love
okay,
to.
sure.
Name me a person. I'll tell you the story.
Bette Midler.
Oh, yeah,
Midler.
I was going to say, I want to go Bette Midler. I want to hear that.
Oh my God. Again, I have a several like pinch me moments in my career, and singing with Michael is one of them. With the Bette Midler thing, it came about where I got a call from an agent that I work with in New York, and she said, Bette Midler is putting out a record of all 60s girl group songs, and she wants 3 new Harlettes. She always had the 3 ladies that she called the Harlettes. I grew up also loving Bette Midler, and I was a theater kid, all the like showy stuff, I loved it. So anything with her, she was just brash and big, and she just looked different, and I was so drawn to that. So I was like, oh my God, just to get a chance to audition for her, like awesome. And it was a big casting call in New York. A lot of Broadway people were there, and they just kept calling, 2 people, 3 people into the room. And they kept whittling it down, and then it was like down to 10 people, and we all left. And then I got the call like an hour later that I was one of the ones that was hired. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. And we did a whole promo tour. We did all the morning TV shows, Today Show, Good Morning America, all that stuff, like as a girl group. Like I wore a big beehive wig, and it was so much fun. And she is such a hoot. She's such a trip. She's like 4 foot nothing. She's so teensy. And she's the hardest working person in show business. She's like we're like 8 hours into a rehearsal and we're like, maybe we should eat. She's like, let's do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're doing the dance steps. And she was like 70.
Wow.
Oh my God. I had a moment where we were rehearsing. And we were just standing around the piano. It was a musical director, the other 2 vocalists, and Bet was standing next to me. And we were singing 3-part harmonies for something. I had to stop. I just got so choked up. I had to stop, and the pianist noticed. He was like, I think Chrissy's having a moment where she's realizing she's singing next to Bette Midler. I was like, I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional. But that was such a trip. She's just all of the fire. She's an amazing human. Really awesome.
That's awesome. And you
Yeah.
talk about people who are, you said big, brash, which I love. That's a perfect description. Now let's go to somebody like James Taylor, because he always seems so somber, so mellow, so like one tone.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
So awesome. Oh my God. Who doesn't love that music and that voice?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's
so
just like
soothing.
a warm hug. And when I got the call to do the 2 shows I did with James, we did the Colbert show and then we did a Michael Brecker tribute show in New York. And I had just had my daughter like a month and a half before that. So it was my first job, my first singing job back after I had my daughter, was working with James Taylor. And, leading up to that, I'd have her in the little pouch thing on my chest and I'd walk around the kitchen and we'd play his music and she'd sleep to it and stuff. And he walked into the rehearsal room and I told him about it and he said her name and I was just like, oh my God, it was just so touching. Fast forward 2 years later, she's sitting at my little piano, plunking on keys and going, how sweet it is to be.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he probably sent it up on the internet and he posted it on his Instagram. It's just like,
That is so cute.
talk about like holy full circle, like multiple times.
Yeah, that is, I mean, that's like it. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
Really lovely person.
But you played Colbert now. How's an experience like that? Like a major TV show? Obviously, I guess they record that, right?
Yes, that was recorded.
Is there
it was
ever
awesome?
Is there ever like a musical glitch that they stop and go back, or they just let you rip?
Yes, on the recorded ones, they'll definitely do. I've done several of like the shows that are not live where they'll record it. All right, let's do it again. Let's get different camera angle. But the ones that are live, that's really like it just needs to be correct because it's live. Like David Letterman was always live.
Wow.
The Tonight Show was always live. So no room for error there. Just get it done.
Do you ever get like stage jitters like right before, or you just always ready to go?
Not a ton, but occasionally I will, especially if it's big and especially if I'm solo or featured. Like, when I'm walking out to, for example, I played it. There's a new venue in Massachusetts called the Music Room. It's in the Cape, and that was my first show back as a solo artist post-COVID, and that was the one that was a few months ago. And I was really nervous because it was only me, just me, piano with a guitar, and playing 2 sets. Each was an hour, and it was like a full house. So I was like, oh my God, I was really nervous. I don't usually get nervous. So that was a combination of like, I haven't done this in a while and just like first time back, like there's no backup. This is all on me. So you do a good job. So that and like, yeah, the first show with Michael too, I was really nervous because there was no rehearsals. There was no, Michael and I didn't even rehearse. I just had to learn everything and go out there, and it needed to be nailed. So I was like, there's 2,000 people in the audience. I was definitely nervous at that moment, but
Good thing you're such a huge fan.
I
You
know,
know
right?
everything.
deep breaths, just like get it done, and it worked out great. So yeah, occasionally for certain circumstances, I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling that butterfly-y feeling. But for the most part, that's where I'm the most comfortable and the most happy. Is on stage doing music live more than the studio. The studio can be harder for me than just being out live playing. It feels very freeing and feels where I'm like the happiest.
That was excellent. Now I got to go back to my list because that was actually my next question. What you preferred? All right, awesome. Well done. I've heard. Now we talk about comparisons. I've heard people compare you in the past to Aretha Franklin, Adele, Joni Mitchell. Like these are massive names. Like, do you feel you live up to the hype? Or you're like, I'm just me. I'm doing my thing. If it sounds like somebody else, that's awesome.
Yes, I do. I feel like I am a lucky person who gets to stand on the shoulders of the trailblazers and the greats like Aretha and Joni, and like that's how I feel. I mean, they're my school, they're my teachers, and I get to learn from them and go out and play music. But I mean, man, it is really an honor to hear somebody draw any kind of comparison to your heroes. It's just like, and that's just a testament to how much those people have influenced and changed the face of music. Like the real trailblazers. There isn't a singer-songwriter that doesn't look at Joni Mitchell and was like, she like invented songwriting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true music right there. Just outstanding, and some big names. Any dream show, any dream tour, anything you have in your mind that you want to put down someday with a few select artists?
Oh God, I have such a laundry list.
I mean, you've been on this show. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Exactly. Checking this off my list. I think, you got a little friend there.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
friend. Sweet. It's still, there's so many artists. They still would, die to have a chance to sing with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, wow.
Prince was always a dream, R.I.P.
Massive Prince fan. Massive.
Yeah, same here. To have the chance to sing and play, if it ever happened, with Elton John, Paul McCartney. Those are guys that are like high up on my list. And
Sure.
I grew up doing theater, so there's a part of me that still is like, I want to go back and like, do a big theater show or do a Broadway show or do something like that. So that's still like, I'm still kind of keeping my eyes out for that stuff too.
Okay,
Awesome,
so
man.
what's your dream part on Broadway, and what is your favorite song to cover?
Oh my gosh, let's see.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I love these questions. Dream part on Broadway, it would be a toss-up between like playing Carol in the Carole King musical and Beautiful, and then just like a big, like an old school big belty musical, like something. I think they're bringing back Funny Girl, like something like Funny Girl.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Something like that where you can just like let it rip and be fun and that whole thing. And then my favorite song to cover, God, there are so many, but if, one of my like top 10, which I do often end my set with, is Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And I'll just do it acoustically, just on the guitar or on piano, but I like to bring my own thing to it, and it's such a masterpiece of a song.
If you ever come to Philly to the brewery, you have to sing Purple Rain for us.
Yes, 100%. It's
Yes.
happening.
Me and a couple of partners are opening a brewery in a suburb right outside of Philadelphia. We'll have a stage. It'll be a very
Amazing.
big venue, so maybe sometime we talk into coming down.
Yes,
Definitely
holler.
singing Purple Rain on stage. Absolutely.
Yes, I would love that.
We would love to have you. So, like I said, the EP comes out on the 22nd of October. What comes next? Little break, little tour, new music? What do you got coming up next?
So you mean like after the EP comes out?
After the EP, yeah.
I think after that comes out, I'll be kind of getting my headspace into a writing space again. It's
Okay.
usually what happens. I'll go like record, all the stuff that has to do with the recording, and then I just sort of go into like, what am I writing next? And I have a couple of ideas doing it. I want to do a side project that's like really poppy fun, maybe like nouveau disco. Might do it under an alt name, just as like a fun side project. And like get tap into my like Shaka Khan 70s.
I got a
stuff
guitar.
that I
I got a guitar player for you here. Earl's
Yeah,
big into
okay.
music. He's already looking.
I see that. And then, I want to do some more songwriting for a new project for my own, under my own name. And then I've just started writing a lot for doing pitches for other artists through a publishing company in the UK. So I can take some time to really dig into writing for other people too, which is just something I like to do in my, free time when I can do it.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is free time? You
Yeah.
play all these instruments, you do duets, you do solos, you're a mother. Where is free time?
Well, I'm telling you, the best free time is when you're on tour, sitting on a tour bus or on a plane or in the hotel room. All of a sudden, it's like you can go out and party and like whatever and spend all your per diem, or you can sit down and get stuff done, which is basically what I do now because that's the only free time I have to myself.
Or sleep. You're so busy.
Then I'll take a nap.
It's amazing. A lot of our artists on here are always so packed. I always wonder how they get their free time. I mean, we do this, and I do my brewery stuff and work and married, and like free time just doesn't seem to exist. But you make the most of it, and when you get it, do what you can with it.
Totally.
Let's hit all the spots for everybody. www.chrissipoland.com. It's 2 S's and an I at the end. Brand new single "Wanna Be You" is out right now. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Check out the video. We just had it on here earlier. And check all the major music outlets. The new EP is Destination Home. Drops on October 22nd. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you buy it because she's into the artwork. So it's actually professionally done. Instagram at Chrissi Poland. Facebook, of course, as well. We thank you so very much for coming on. It always feels like the half hour just flies by.
It did fly by.
It always does. Like, I look at the first 4 minutes. I'm like, all right, we're on track. We're here. Next thing I know, it's like, okay, now we got to let him go.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's so great to talk with you guys. I hope I get to chat with you guys again soon. Thank you for making time and space for me.
Absolutely. We would love to welcome you back after the EP and catch up down the line. And like I said, even send out that invitation to New York sometime next year. Come down and sing for us and our lovely
I would love
friends
it.
and your new fans.
Let's do it. I would love it.
Thank you so much.
Everybody,
Thank
Chrissi
you.
Poland, thank you so much for coming on. Have
Thanks,
yourself a great
Jewel. Thanks,
evening.
Jeff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Jewel, absolute sweetheart of a guest. She's terrific.
I know.
Absolutely terrific.
She's so awesome. Stories
get-
for days, too. It's so cool.
Exactly. And like I look at the time and we always present it as half-hour interview. And I got to admit,
We try.
99.9% of the time I get so engulfed, I'm like, well, I really want to go farther. But you don't know if they got their mind set on a half hour. So
Yeah.
I respect that. I see it's 9 o'clock. I'm like,
It's true. And she's an East Coaster, so
yeah,
it is 9 o'clock here.
it's 9 o'clock. It's the kind of things we used to run into with Lilith from Lilith in the Night. Like she's in England, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, but I really don't want to let you
I
go.
know.
I'm so bloody tired. I want to go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock
She's like
in the
falling
morning.
asleep. Oh,
It's 2 in the morning. May I please go? Yeah, that was good. Big thanks to Chrissi. She is absolutely amazing. Again, everything is going to scroll down the bottom for a little bit. New EP. Of course, her new single that we played here earlier, which I loved and everybody loved out there. And she's awesome. We root for people that great. I mean, Michael Bolton, Bette Midler, James Taylor.
so
Jesus.
many. I know. I don't know what I would do. It's like, oh, go on stage with this person and just sing your best. That's crazy.
I like that. And this is me, believe it or not, Earl. I do this stuff. Like, I'll be eating at a diner or something. I'll write down something I want to talk about on the show. Or I'll write down like a top 5 list idea and just kind of jot it down. Like, all right, I'm definitely doing this on the show. Look at that. Any second that something comes to your mind, right, especially me, I forget.
That's what I have to do. And this week, I remembered the topics that I wanted to talk about, so I sent them to you, and I saved them in a folder. I'm trying to be organized, there's some crazy topics.
If I see them, I'll either screenshot them so I remember where I found them and what they were, or I'll, like I said, try to save them in a folder because I forget. But there's some great things I always like to talk about. This week we did not do a Let's Argue this week, Jewel.
Oh, we didn't?
No, because I know you're so up to date on them too. It's terrific.
I'm sorry.
But now before I knew it, it was Tuesday morning, and I'm like, wow, I never did a Let's Argue. And then yesterday, folks, I will admit when I'm wrong. Jewel had to get on me like, oh, where's the ad for the show? What's going on? I'm like, hey, it's freaking Monday.
Hey, you got a lot on your plate. We appreciate you. Your
Thank you.
family.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate our audience, and I appreciate our guests, and all that good stuff. So you know what that means? That means we have a lot more time for Jewel Tady's favorite hot topics.
Woo!
I definitely got to buy that sound card with the sound effects on. It's not to make up my own goofy sounds.
That'd be nice.
Another amazing. We're not even done yet. We still got close to an hour. Hang tight.
Girl.
Thanks, Earl. You're the best, man. We love you, dude. And one of these days, dude, we're going to get to one of those festivals, one of those shows or something. And we're going to hang out together, take some great Yo-Show pictures. Let's get to topics. And we're going to start out with, you know how I am about the modern era, Joel. You know how I am about today's people and today's ideas. Well, today we get this dandy about, I guess I'll say the word before it becomes obsolete, breastfeeding.
Oh boy.
There's a nice little.
We should right into it.
You should have seen some of the pictures that came up when I typed in breastfeeding. Yeah, this was the commonest. But experts, and of course there's always experts, they want to change the language of breastfeeding. Some of the great slogans were considering it human chest feeding, lactation feedings. One was dumber than the next, and I just couldn't help but laugh. Hit me with this, Joel. I'll take down the picture of the woman with her breast hanging out. Is there a need? Is the word breastfeeding that offensive? Is breast to me? I say breast a lot. Like I don't say boobs or tits. I actually hate that word. I say breast. Like,
Yeah,
is it that bad?
I don't particularly like that word. Like, I try not to use it. I know it's just one of those weird words for me. Like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me though when people say that word. See, I can't even say these freaking words. Lactation.
Lactating. I mean, I don't like lactating. But like I said, like breast to me is like, it's a common word, but chest feeding, it sounds like a disease.
That is just awful. Like, why change it though? Like, you know who changes it? The young generation, because they just come up with new names and then it eventually gets changed. Like, why do you have to say, oh, this is what? Chest feeding? Something or other?
Chest feeding. We got a few more viewers, so I want to show them another picture of the boobie.
Okay.
A little chest feeding for you. I'm just so tired of everything having to be changed. And I'm not like one of them old heads to be like, hey, you young whippersnapper. I mean, it's been called breastfeeding for like, what, 200 friggin' years?
Like, what else are you going to call it? Not that. Now, I mean, you've seen like Coco in the news and like Alicia Silverstone. So I didn't know. I knew that people went above and beyond, like did it for years and such.
Yes.
Yeah, Coco doesn't have any milk. So that kid is just on there.
That's the luckiest kid on earth, I'd be
for comfort. Like what? Like you're not even supplying anything anymore?
Yeah,
like what? That's not breastfeeding then. That's just I don't.
I like that you brought that up because you do hear that, like it's a comfort zone and it relaxes them. Like if Coco wanted to breastfeed me, I'm all about it. I'd be in that comfort zone.
Well, then Ice Tea said, yeah, I'd do it too. Dude, there's no milk in there. Like, what are you doing?
Like, now I assume she runs out of milk from the age, like expiring, like the baby's born. There's only milk for so long.
I thought if you kept going, like if you didn't stop, it just kept producing milk. I mean, because if you stop, like I had to force myself to stop. One, because I had a horrible, horrible experience. Anyway,
and now she's got a little man on her finger. And
when you want to stop, you can stop. You have to like wrap them up and stop doing it. So I thought if you just kept doing it, like it kept producing the substance. But nay.
But isn't it like? But I don't understand why people would want to keep up with it. Isn't it painful?
Don't put that up.
No, I can't. I love your own, but yeah, I can't. I knew you were digging into else. Yeah, and I knew that's what you were doing. But isn't it painful? Like, why would you want to keep that up?
It is so painful. So painful. And once the kid gets teeth, I don't even want to know.
Oh.
But goddamn, I don't know. Man. Let's get off the topic.
We censored you. We try not to censor you.
Jesus Christ.
We had
You may want to censor yourself.
The young men and women that work at your local Starbucks are pretty sick and tired of your ridiculous orders.
Yeah.
Now, Jewel brought this. Oh, I love when the logo comes out without any border, like Domino's
cool.
did last week. Very cool. So, this one Starbucks barista claimed that somebody came in, ordered a drink, and asked to have egg bites put in it.
Come on, man.
Egg bites. Where is the line? Jewel Tatey, I think we've talked about this before. I am not a Starbucks fan. I do not get anything from Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks. But hit me with this. Egg bites? Like, what's next?
Yeah, like, why don't you just make me a, No. I feel so bad for these Starbucks baristas. But I feel bad for myself because they haven't had Splenda in like a week at my Starbucks. And I keep forgetting and I keep going there. So I'm like, what are you doing? I can't live without my Splenda. But
Maybe
anyway.
maybe you should try ordering it.
No, I do. They're
There's so many
out.
outrageous things. That's crazy.
They're not out at one, but two of them. So what am I to do? I'm gonna buy Splenda. It's like $10 a box of Splenda.
But why would you ask for egg bites? That's like me going to McDonald's and asking for like a Whopper patty. Like, can you put a Whopper patty on that? Like, right, what are egg bites? I assume like little pieces of egg. Like
Egg bite in your coffee? Like, what the hell are you doing? Get your own egg bite and put it in your own coffee.
How about you take your triple mocha light latte caramel flavored fart froth machine and make yourself a goddamn egg.
So the new thing on TikTok is you go through the Starbucks drive-thru and you're like, hey, can you make something for someone who recently got their heart broken and needs a little pick-me-up? And then if they're a cool barista, they make you this fancy drink and write a little sappy note on it saying, have a blessed day. But people are getting fed up with this too because this one kid did it. He did a TikTok. He's like, hey, I'm really down and out. Can you just make me a little, happy drink? And the guy's like, can you just please order off the goddamn menu? Please and thank you.
I would be that way. I mean, it's like, because, and I'll give you a prime example. Like, you see these Funko Pops. I get Funko Pops all the time. And one of the biggest places to buy them is at Target. And you found these pages all day long. You're like, I asked the guy at Target. How about you leave the fucking people at Target alone? Just wait for it to come on the shelf. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. The people at Target are not there as Funko Pop directors 24/7. Like, really, give it a rest.
Oh, these poor people. They really don't know anything about the toys, so please stop asking them.
Some act like they do. Some will go to great lengths. Some will bring up their little scanner thing. And I asked the lady I was in there one day, and my buddy was in line. I'm like, I said, I don't want to bother you. I said, well, when do you usually get shipments? I didn't ask for anything specific. And she laughed, said, quite frankly, we can get shipments any day and every day. And when stuff comes out depends on when we unload it and when the person whose section it is puts it out. I said, that's a great answer. She goes, oh, really? I thought you were going to yell at me because there's something is not. I'm like, no.
These poor people, they don't
know.
get paid enough to deal with your bullshit. I'm sorry. Just be nice to anyone working in customer service, please. Please.
I'll have to look at that later, because I love collecting stuff. So I got to check that out and see that post. I love collecting
And
stuff.
then one time, I told you, I went to Target and we found like an exclusive item, like this exclusive LOL, not even supposed to be out. And the girl at the cash register, she didn't even know what to price it. And she's like, oh, what do you think this is? Like $20? It was way over $20, this exclusive doll. I'm like, all right, whatever you want.
I've been there, and it will happen with certain Funko Pops that are out early, and you'll see them, and I'm just as guilty. You see them in a box, and I take it out of the box, and I run up front, and you scan it, and it doesn't ring, and they tell you, I'm sorry, I can't sell it to you.
Oh, you take it out of like the cardboard box, like the unpacking.
If it's open and sitting out, no, I won't go to like the wheelie
like
cart
in the back door.
Right, I won't go with the wheelie cart and pull it out. But like if it's a lot of times they'll put it on the electronics counter and they'll open the box. So if I see it, I'm like, oh, I guess these are coming out. And I did it one time.
It's mine.
It is now mine. Guess what? I'll scan something else and run out the door.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh.
You're out there. I know you are. It happens.
Dude, I cannot. I could not like ever even. I couldn't even think about shoplifting. That is the most. That has to be one of the most anxiety-inducing events
Right?
to ever. I don't know. I could
But
never.
I wouldn't shoplift, but I would find an item that I know is the same, like another Funko Pop that I know is the same price. I would scan it and
I
take
couldn't do
that one
that.
out. Like I got it. Nah, it's a mad
If you're
hunt out there.
sneaky, if you got it like that, I can't do it, man.
It's not. Oh, I'm not that sneaky. I'm always like beep. I'm
I
like,
know people.
I get on the store intercom. Did anybody see me do that?
Oh God. Or like swap something on another like thing, and
I had no idea. They swap price tags and all that. Like people blow me away, man.
I just think like I don't know. That's karma
Like-
in some form.
Even the people. Remember they had this run where people were going into the supermarket and like opening containers of like Arizona iced tea and drinking it and putting it back, or licking the ice cream.
That's goddamn foul. We don't know
and
what you
how
have.
how ballsy is that
No.
too? Like wow,
No, that's what's that called?
gross.
Bio something.
Biodegradable. But like seriously, like I did it the other day because I still buy the jugs of Arizona iced tea because I love it. I buy the 50/50, the Arnold Palmer, the mix lemonade iced tea. And the other day I went and I look at the little tabs and they're all still tight, and I'm actually playing with it. And a guy walks by and laughs and he's like, "I think it's sealed." And I turned to him, I said, "Have you ever seen these?" Like, "Say no more. I know exactly why you're doing it and you're smart. I don't blame you." Yeah, people have seen that video. I'm not nuts,
That's
man.
criminal. That's a crime. Like, do not do that.
Right, that
Don't
is
want
a
your
crime.
diseases. I used to get Turkey Hill frozen yogurt all the time, and
Yeah.
it didn't have the seal. And then I'm like,
Ugh,
was I
no.
buying this all the time without the seal? Like, what kind of?
Ah. Never again, man. My shit's got to be sealed.
I don't care if it's Turkey Hill. I know it's delicious, but I will not buy that shit if it doesn't have proper.
I
Ugh.
started buying. I think I told the Blue Bunny. I think is the brand Blue Bunny. Ice
Oh,
cream.
that might be the other one.
And
Yeah,
that's got a
Uh-huh.
seal on it. I ain't messing around anymore. Make sure it's sealed.
I do that too with makeup a lot because I order a lot of makeup,
Ugh.
and if I'm getting it from like Amazon or like Ipsy or whatever, like I gotta make sure that shit is sealed up.
Oh, here's a story. It's a little gross. So I was at Target one time buying deodorant, and I know the kind I like. I usually buy the same deodorant / antiperspirant.
You
And
Mitchum man.
No, I get the Old Spice, but I get the new flavor ones, like the Fiji. I love it. It's great. And I always get it. So I got it, put it in the cart, and I'm moseying along. I get home. I open the cap, and there is a gigantic underarm hair.
You better stop.
Yo, I
Better stop
tell
right
you
now.
what, man. I'm like, how in the hell? It is like a huge, I mean, it looked like a you-know-what hair. I won't say it, but it looked like one of those. But I was hoping it was from an armpit. Huge, right across the top.
Someone went into the store and said, "I'm a little musty. Let me just freshen up right quick."
Dude, like,
It's disgusting. Oh my
Yeah.
god! I would just toss it. I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't send it back. I would just freaking toss it.
you and me, the same person. I just looked in the trash can. I'm like, doink, and I went and bought another one the next day. Again.
That's so gross. Oh my god! I don't wish that on anyone.
Ugh, I'm going to barf just thinking about it. Next subject. Let's get on to the next subject. Speaking of gross things with hair, I don't really know exactly what this thing looks like, Jewel Tatey, but you sent me this article about this strange four-legged creature spotted on Mars.
It's
Look at this thing.
Luna.
Look at this thing. Where's the picture? Where's the picture? There it is. Get ready to be oohed. Look at that.
It's my cat.
That might be your cat. It looks like I don't know what that is. Now, there was a story several years ago about the Mars rat. It looks a little bit like the Mars rat. It looks like a little lion or something. It's actually quite frightening. Do you think there's multiple species and critters out there? I'll show
Oh
it to
god,
you.
I hope so. I need some more fluff balls to love on.
How do you know you're going to love on that fluff ball? That thing looks like it might rip
It's
your hair
running.
out. It's on Mars. It's starving and dying of thirst. Cute. How do you know that's cute?
It looks
Wow.
like a soot sprite. You know what the soot sprites look like?
No.
Hang on. I'll get it up. Soot sprite.
I'm not getting it up after looking at that thing.
Not soot sprite, soot sprite.
That's
All right, whatever.
Right.
Oh, this thing's from...
It's Lilac's Pet Sparky. I don't know what the hell that thing is. It's scary. It's like a mini Loch Ness monster or something. I'm not going near that thing. When I go to Mars, I'm hiding behind Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Let him go first.
They look like soot
You think it
sprite.
looks like that? Like, all right, I can assume it might look like that. I'm
No,
a
it
little
looks like-
terrified.
Looks like this one.
Oh,
Doesn't it?
maybe.
Do you know
I'll tell
it's
you what.
Black Cat Appreciation Day?
Aw,
So
it's awesome.
she just jumped off.
She does. She loves being part of the show. The other guy hates being. He's upstairs hiding. He hates being on the show.
Oh, he was a part of the show. I heard him barking the whole time.
No, my God, he just doesn't. He just doesn't. I think he waits for the show because he sleeps all day. He sleeps all day. He begs me for my food. Today, this little sucker had his own wet food. He had a sausage patty from McDonald's. He had some of my pizza, and he had some of my Chef Boyardee ravioli I made myself for lunch.
He's spoiled.
Oh, he's spoiled rotten, but I did it. I've
That's
created
what
a
cats do, sleep all day. And my dog sleeps all day, though, too.
What I say, like a healthy dog is a heavy napper. Like they nap a lot.
Yeah.
He naps.
And my dog is 11, and I had her out there with the tennis ball today. She is still so fast. Like,
That's it.
she's a couple years older than my sister's dog, and she just, like, blows him away every time. Like, she's such a fast dog. I love my puppy.
Pretty awesome. Next subject. Now I'm terrified of creatures on Mars. At least it's better than creatures on Uranus. But Live Nation, and this is one. Do we want to do Live Nation? We'll do Live Nation first. Live Nation, one of the biggest concert promoters around, if not the biggest. They are announcing that to attend a concert, you must either show your vaccine proof or show a negative COVID test. First of all, I'm not going to get a negative COVID test. I got my vaccine card, and I don't hide it anymore. People go, I don't want to tell people. Yeah, I got vaccinated. Whatever. It is what it is. Jewel, are you carrying and flashing your vaccination card? Are you going to get a negative test? What are you doing?
I mean, I guess if you have the card, which I do, I guess I'm going to start carrying it, right? Because people are going to need it. But you know what I was thinking? Everyone's in a big huff about this.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not going to say anything. But Hollywood has been doing this the entire time. If you watch shows that were filmed in the pandemic, they make sure every one of those people that are in on the parties or whatever, and the Kardashians and shit, they all have a COVID testing site before they come on set, before they walk in the door. Like, Hollywood has been doing it this way the entire time. So they're figuring, like, it works like that if you have a negative test, or, I mean, we know breakthrough cases and stuff, but I guess that's a step of, like, trying to get back to normal for big events. Now, concerts, you're smushed like this. There's no way you're not breathing on someone.
Right.
And you're not going to want to wear a mask outside. So to make up for that, I guess that's what they're trying to do. But I was thinking that, I'm like, man, every show makes the entire crew and staff, and if one gets it, then they shut the whole shit down.
Yeah, I mean, I got mine, and it's funny because people are like, whoa, wait till the side effect kick in 20, 25 years. By then, I'll be fucking 75. You think I give a rat's ass about a side effect? I want to go to a concert.
Yeah, and then there's the long haulers who have problems, and I know people are still having symptoms from when they got it. So it's like, what the hell?
My wife is at the gym wearing a mask.
Look at her.
She's at the gym, ladies and gentlemen. This woman today had her first treatment of chemotherapy. 7 hours worth
7
of
hours.
sitting in a chair, and she's at the gym. Be smooth. And she said today, and the reason why I'm sharing this and telling the story now, Jewel, and of course I got my wristlet on, she said something very touching to me, and it's something that had been in my mind. She said she wants her story to make a difference. She wants to be inspirational. Like, a couple years down the line, she kicks it and says, I had it, and this is what I did, and you're going to make it. The way you did with your sister, and the way people have been reaching out to me and saying, she's going to make it because. And today said, you know what? I want to be that person that people say, hey, I remember Cassie Perini, like, got her treatments, took her work to her, was doing her job while she's getting treatments, and went to the gym, and it's inspirational, and get a little choked up, a little emotional.
And she already is. She already is that inspiration, and she's doing a great job. And I mean, I just have all these strong women around me, and I'm happy that I have a friend like Cassie. So she is just kicking its ass, and I'm just so she has the mental stuff down. She's so positive. She's doing everything good for her body, and she's doing the right thing. So
I gotta tell you, we love you, Cass, very much. We appreciate and love your efforts. I'm pretty sure after today, after round 1, I'm pretty sure Cancer's in the corner saying, "What the fuck did we do picking on this girl?"
I know. I mean, this was supposed to be like brutal day, and she's just barreling right through it.
No, we love you. You're amazing. I'm inspired by it. Jewel, have you been on Facebook? Have you seen the new hairdo?
No, I saw her at the food store.
That's right. But that was before the haircut, though, correct?
Oh yeah.
It's short and it's short and berry red. Now she got new ones. Very short, berry red. It's hot. I love it. You gotta check it out on Facebook.
I gotta make a pit stop this week.
Yeah, we'll do that too. There's a picture on Facebook. Come on by. Give me a heads up. We'll have some dinner of some sort and check the new hair. It's awesome, and she's awesome. And today, I woke up with the anxiety today, and she's like, "All right, if you don't mind, get my lunch ready. I'm gonna be upstairs." And I got her lunch ready, and she's like,
"Better get up and make that lunch."
I did. I got her made that. She's like, "How about a couple of eggs?" Made her a couple of eggs, and I think I was more nervous than she was. She got there and was just running the show. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like she does.
Whew.
We wish you well, as always. We go from that story. We go from that story of breast to another story of breast, and it's outside of my wife's, this might be my favorite pair of breasts on earth.
Stop it!
It's Britney Spears. I said outside of my wife, Britney Spears, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about her a lot. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. It's hot.
It's beautiful.
Berry red and short.
Stop. I'm gonna cry.
Super cool, man. She's so cool. I love it.
Oh.
I'm rewatching the replay on my phone, and I seen that picture come back up again. It's awesome. All right. We'll take a time out from talking about Britney Spears' boobs while Jewel catches us up. So Britney Spears' boobs, her boobs are next. I don't know if you noticed, I follow on Instagram, and I check it out every day. Topless pictures are like the new thing. That girl. And she's posting many of them. And I got one here. This is one of them. Like I said, she's going on and she's doing like a lot of hand bra pictures. Now, the thing that came out over the last couple of days, and I'm going to ask your opinion on this, people are saying that they're being illegally posted. Somebody's taking them, posting them against her will, and she has no clue these are even up. Supposedly she came out and said, I'm just being more free and relaxed. It goes up on social media, trying to beat my conservatorship by saying that, I'm normal, I know what I'm doing, I'm free-spirited and relaxed in the whole 9 yards. What is your take on it, Jewel? Is somebody behind the scenes exploiting her without her knowledge, or do you think she's just out there being like, fuck it, this is me?
I don't think anymore. I mean, Jamie's gone, right?
But now, we heard he was stepping down, but the last thing I read was that he said he's stepping down when the time is right. So is he gone yet?
I don't know who is in that house. The house makes me nervous. She's got like a mansion with like a staff and stuff. This is the most exposed she's been. I mean, before they were like making her do the weird dances and everything. So I don't know. I mean, I know Britney dances. I'm not saying that, but like just over the top. Yeah.
I'm not posting to be funny, which I normally do, but I guess it looks posed like she knows what's going on. Do you think they're forcing that picture out of her? Like, it's a tough call anymore. You don't know what to believe in her world anymore. What to believe. It's a bizarre world.
I'm happy the court and all the legal stuff is getting settled and she can go on vacation and stuff like that. I just want her to live her own life without her goddamn weird family.
Well, that That I agree with. From the sister to the mother to the father, like put them on an island.
And I wish the boyfriend was more like, I don't know, trustworthy. Do we trust him? I don't know.
No, I trust nobody in her world anymore. I won't.
Like, how do you sit back and watch your woman go through that without like causing a riot?
I got to tell you, like, I get defensive if I think somebody's doing my wife wrong, and I mouth off. She's like, I'm fine, and I trust her, but we know how out of line. And like I said, even like the other night, like me and my wife were laying in bed, and she's like on Instagram, she's like, oh, are these fake? And I'm like, who? And she shows me Brittany. I'm like, I really have no idea what's going on there anymore.
Remember the picture with her eyes, and they said like, "Help me," or some 911.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
And the certain color of dress she was wearing was, man, it's creepy. I'm waiting for the day that she actually just comes on TV, like regular TV, and be like, hi, here I am. Yeah, I'm free. Or she can come on the Yo Show and do it.
But every time she speaks in public, it's so... First of all, she talks like super fast, and she just like, bada, 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 bada. And even the judge is like, yo, slow down. We want to hear you. We want to hear your story and everything. So I don't know. I would like to see her without the medication and stuff like that. I mean, whatever she needs, but it seems like they're pumping her with like lithium and all these mind altering. I just want to see her well. How about that? You don't have to post anything, Britt. Just, be well.
I mean, if you want to post those boobies some more, you can send them directly to my personal Instagram, or you can send them to the show Instagram, at the Yo Show 215 on Instagram. Send me your booby pictures, Brittany, and I'll be glad to share them on the show. Am I helping? Am I not helping?
I don't think so.
So help. Let's go on to this one. We go from one celebrity tragedy to another celebrity tragedy. Allegedly, apparently, the great rap mogul Dr. Dre's oldest daughter claims to be homeless. There is the great superstar himself, Dr. Dre. So apparently, his daughter, and let me bring this up here real quick.
I have to laugh.
LaTanya Young is her name. She started a GoFundMe page with a goal to raise $50,000 to help her due to the fact that she's homeless. Very confusing. Number one, do you think this is even really his daughter? Number two, how can a man of this kind of money allow his daughter to be homeless?
So I tried to look it up as much as I could.
You do that, which I love.
She is his daughter. His name is Andre Young. She is his daughter. She's 38 or 39. She hasn't had a relationship with him in 18 years. Now, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know who's to blame here. I don't know if she was just like, I mean, you had to be a rich kid. Like, even back in the day, he was making money, NWA, and then Eminem and all the aftermath, and then Beats. He's a billionaire. Like, so you had to have some point of like... But she has 4 kids, and she's living in a van. Her kids don't live with her. They're living at a friend's place. But she said she stopped receiving money from him in December of 2020. So he doesn't owe her, like, I mean, she's 38. She's not 18. Like, he doesn't owe her, but it is his kid. I don't know what kind of relationship, but she's hoping that he will see this and fund her life. I mean, they are his grandbabies. Like, he should want to be able to take care of them.
But you're thinking with that kind of money, like, he can't build a little residence, like on a plot of land that he owns or something.
Somewhere in Compton, even. Come on, man.
Give her a house at least. I mean, you don't have to fund her life, but give her.
Yeah, a house in Compton is better than a van down by the river.
Living in a van down by the river. I agree. You're Dr. Dre, dude. Like, do something. Speaking of,
you have a lot. You have.
Speaking of Dr. Dre and Eminem, did you see that Eminem is going to be appearing in a new movie with 50 Cent?
What?
It's a 50 Cent movie. It's I think it's called. I don't know if it's called this or if it's based on it. It's a Black Mafia, and he plays a kid named like White Boy Frank or something. It's a movie coming out with Eminem and 50 Cent.
Like White Boy Rick?
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's White Boy Rick. I don't know. I saw it today.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw an article about it today, so I know you're a big 50 Cent fan, so that's...
I was so excited for the movie White Boy Rick because it was a true story, and then I fell asleep. It was so boring.
So what is that story about? Is it about a black mafia? Because this movie's about a black mafia, and he plays a character.
He's in some kind of mafia, and it was a little boy, and he did runs, and then he ended up getting caught and doing a whole bunch of time. But dude, Eminem's a really good actor. I know I'm biased, but
Oh, you are.
he was supposed to play the part in Southpaw that Jake Gyllenhaal had. Have you seen Southpaw?
No, but I know the movie. I don't watch a lot of movies.
It's a good movie.
anymore.
He plays a good underdog, you know. I mean, he's older now, so I'd be there. See, I'd be the first day, first time. I'll be at that movie theater.
There is going to be a lot of background barking when this episode is over. She left the house, left the dog sit up there. I locked the door to get down here, and I'm sure he's freaking out because he's trying to get down here.
Oh, you should let him down.
I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jewel Tatey, this commercial message
Can
for
you
Loso
stop?
beer.
Don't just put it. Loso is great beer. I enjoy the bonfire ale and woodland watermelon wheat and Lola and all that goodness. I'm not drinking Loso. I'm not good at improv or ad-libbing or just being on my own. I could never do a show by myself. I don't know what I would do.
Nothing was better than the food drive when I actually would take bathroom breaks.
What did I do?
Poor thing. He's upstairs and he's looking at me now. He was trapped. She actually put the door lock thing on there, so I had to weasel my way out. That was tricky, but...
Oh, good. I'm glad he's down. You know what? I could do one if, like, I had, like, stuff to go off of and, like, comments and... I mean, people are commenting, but that one time I did kind of a show by myself, it was like, you know, I was getting ideas for what to say. I can't just go off the cuff.
It's hard. It is.
It's hard.
It's hard when you lay out, like, when you do topics, and there's nobody's opinion but your own.
Yeah, this
Like
is
that
what
kinda
I
sucks.
think.
Yeah, I think this. And I don't give a rat's ass if anybody else thinks there's nobody's here. Yeah, definitely is a little better with somebody
I'm
extra.
right and you're wrong.
The end of an NFL legacy appears to be here. The one and only Tim Tebow was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's old handsome Timmy.
What's his move?
So he was he does the
I was like, what does he do?
he blesses himself. So he was released from the Jaguars after a hello from Disney. Look at that.
Oh, please let me know how it is because my nephew's going in like a couple days.
And thanks for tuning in as well, Bridget. Brittany. I almost said Brittany again. Bridget. And thank you for the logo to Fuck Cancer. Absolutely, we agree with that 110%. Bridget is a very good friend of my wife's, and a boo bash party tonight.
Ooh.
I want some boo bash. We were just bashing boobs a second ago here on the show. So yeah, Tebow was a quarterback. Maybe the greatest college football player. People say that a lot. He made it to the NFL, played quarterback. Sloppy delivery, not a great career. Then he retired, and then his old coach is now the coach of the Jaguars. Brought him in to try out for tight end. He lasted one preseason game. Now he's cut, and so that's the end of Tim Tebow. The thing about him, he gets knocked a lot for being very religious. He gets knocked a lot for still getting chances, not being that talented. Are you familiar with him at all? Or are you a fan? Do you like the underdog story?
I didn't even know he was still playing. He was like old news.
He got really jacked. Like, he got real big, and they let him try out for tight end. And nobody thought he could do it. And he pretty much didn't do it. Matter of fact, he played baseball for a couple years in the minor leagues before this.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. you doing? Baseball.
Joey,
She can't hear you. You're just
what are you
screaming
doing?
right here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Good.
It's like the creepiest
Doing my
question
room
ever.
more clean, and I had to
Cleaning her room. Such a good kid.
And
Good kid.
guess what? When I'm tired from like doing work all day, I made my little self a little quiet place where I can read books.
That's nice. A
She
reading
does.
nook.
She does commercials better than her mother does. When I'm tired at
I
night
know.
after a long day.
Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and make sure to check out my channel, Josephines World. And if you don't subscribe, I will steal your snacks like always. And I have a purple t-shirt today. You usually don't see me in the purple t-shirt. And bonus, pocket.
Pocket. I love that pocket. That's
Telling you
what
what,
girls in pockets. They just need one, huh?
I got the wrong Tatey co-hosting this show. She's great.
Seriously.
Great ad. As always, check out Joey's YouTube channel as well as ours. Like and subscribe, or she'll steal all your snacks. She
All of
will.
them.
I've
All
seen
the
it.
time.
I don't blame her. We have one more topic, and this one made me mad. I've read this, and I got so mad when I read this. And I hate getting mad. I'm going to put the big look. Wendy's. So there's a Wendy's in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen. And listen to this awesome menu option. Jalapeno nuggets and strawberry frosty.
Strawberry frosty would be good with like no chunks in it. That would probably be pretty good.
That sounds so good. Now, here's the only
Yeah.
snag. The only snag is you can only get it at this Ohio Wendy's. They're the only ones that make it. I'm disappointed. I would love to try strawberry frosty. Jalapeno nuggets, I don't really know. What are you thinking? Are you into these? I would love to try strawberry frosty.
I just had Wendy's last night. Duck though, she'll only get the spicy chicken sandwich. Like she won't get anything else from the Wendy's menu except the spicy chicken. So apparently that's like a big thing. No, not anything. But I like their home style chicken. I think it's a good piece of big chicken meat. So
Big chicken.
I don't know. I and frosty, yeah. I like the vanilla over the chocolate. What if they had like all three?
Ooh, a Neapolitan frosty.
Mm,
Yeah, it
black
sounds
and white.
Makes it black and white frosty.
Yeah, that'll make it a little messy. I don't know.
Sounds good. I guess I got to make a trip to Ohio. Maybe we'll ask Maria Daniels. I think she's from
Yeah.
Ohio. Find out.
Yeah, she can like. How do you send food?
I don't know if you
Care
can send
package?
food. I think you're onto something here. It's getting better by the second. Maybe we may actually have a little something going on.
Yeah.
But why would have? I don't know. I'm disappointed because our Wendy's ain't doing it. I still got to try that breakfast baconator that I'm told by many is a fantastic sandwich.
Yeah, I heard Chick-fil-A's breakfast is awesome. I know I kind of skipped last week's Who's Argues. Let's argue.
That's who's
Who's the argues?
argues.
Who's the goose?
Sounds like the Spanish network. Welcome to Who's Argues. Don't be telling me nothing about my argues.
Or like Norwegian. Who's the argues?
here's the argues that we're making it.
All right, we gotta stop with that.
I know, we're really being offensive. I'm offending myself. No better than former Governor Cuomo. I'm not perverted. I'm Italian. Thanks.
Oh, God. What an ass.
I couldn't be any more offended. Jesus
You know, I
Christ.
was like, that guy, he seems like a good guy.
You think so? I think he's a jackass. And
No,
he made it-
before.
Oh,
I'm like-
yeah.
Oh, he was just a straight shooter.
Jesus. I'm not
Apparently
perverted.
he is.
I'm not perverted. I'm Italian. I'm sure my wife loves me.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm like it's natural for Italians to groping right.
Italians. Are the passionate ones. But
I'm
in the
insane.
right circumstance. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
I mean, yeah. When you invite guests of the Osho down in your basement, you know.
I'm not perverted.
Take my
Just
glasses off for a
Jump
second.
reading.
Right, me. I'm innocent. So there's 10,000 toys all over the place. That means nothing. That's even creepier.
You know what? I bought my brother a Bob Dylan, like, big thing for his birthday, and now I'm even embarrassed to send it. I'm gonna throw it in the trash.
Yeah, he's in the
What is
news.
that crap?
How old was that girl? 12?
12. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jesus. I don't. It's going to sound like elementary and even dumb to say, but I don't understand the appeal of wanting to. Whatever the hell you're doing with the underage. No, I don't know. I can't even get the words out. It's just so like.
No, he's canceled. He should just go to hell.
Yeah, he's like 90 years old as it is. That's enough. Thanks.
And it's like, what? You can't even listen to like a Bob Dylan song again? It's like disgusting.
I got a few of them on my playlist that I love. Like I love Tangled Up in Blue, and I love
like Rolling Stone and
like
Hollis Brown and all these. Yep, it's like, what the hell?
What did you miss about Bob Dylan? We weren't going to get too much into it, but apparently he was accused. I mean, they're saying it back in 1965. Yeah, but still, of sexually and inappropriate behavior with
grooming a 12-year-old.
Grooming a 12-year-old. Yeah, that's the better grooming.
Child.
Yeah, that's a child. Anyways, like that's a child. If you're under 18, you're a child. Period. Unless I'm a 16-year-old boy and you're a 16-year-old girl and we're like making out or something.
Okay, you're not 16, so.
Your sister Bo did. I was going to say. Yeah,
Anyway.
you heard correctly. Bob Dylan. His stones are rolling, all right. I'll put my foot in his stones. How's that?
I had to put my puppy, and his name was Dylan.
More. It also could have been Dylan from 90210. Hey, speaking of 90210, you know what show comes on in the morning that absolutely sucks?
What?
Charmed. Have you ever seen Charmed?
That was my sister's show, for sure.
What? That is easily the worst television program ever. And the other
Charmed
day,
and Buffy.
I didn't mind Buffy as much. It wasn't great, but I didn't mind it. Like,
Yeah, at least you could.
You know it's bad when there's an episode where they had Rose McGowan was in like a what do they call it, like a toga kind of thing, and Alyssa Milano was in like this genie outfit with like just like a top and like this sheer bottom. And even then, I'm like, this blows. I can't watch this. I mean, even scantily clad, attractive
and
women.
Julian McMahon, he was like the dude that came in. I love him. Christian Troy.
And I'm like, what is
Yeah, so much like eye candy, and I
garbage?
still can't get behind it. Nope.
Right, like it goes to show you. And I act shallow a lot on the show, but I'm not that shallow that I watch Charmed.
I'm with you there, because for a show, there just has to be attractive people in it for me. I'm sorry. I can't say interested, because my family was like, why don't you watch Yellowstone? I'm like, Yellowstone? Kevin Costner? I was like, I'm good. And then I start watching, I'm like, oh, who is this? Who is this?
Right, there's like my
fine
wife.
gentleman on there.
My wife watches that new one. Oh God, hit me with the name. I can't believe I forgot it.
Outlander?
No, it's the one with
Sons of Anarchy?
It's like Sons of Anarchy. It's like the family and they're like they hijack trucks and they're thieves. Ellen Barkin plays the mom.
Oh, Animal or Zoo?
Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Zoo, Animals.
she watches. She goes, I love this show. Meanwhile, every Facebook post is, Jake from Animal Kingdom and Fred from Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
have
do
my
like
baby
that.
Bill from Animal Kingdom. And I'm like, I thought you liked the show. Oh, I do. But I mean, whoa. That's why I watch the Yo Show. All you attractive, shiny, happy. I agree. I watch
Shining
it.
happy people.
I watch it for
Holding
me.
hands.
Trying to think. Oh, because we were talking about Black Widow, and my wife's like, "Oh, I heard it did so bad in the box office," and you mentioned on your show that she's suing because she didn't make money. I'm like, look, you know it's bad when a movie with Scarlett Johansson in tight black and white leather can't sell. It goes to say something how bad it truly is, and I
Was it
love
bad, though?
her. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard from so many people it's so bad.
I'll make my own judgment, because everyone said that new Suicide Squad was good, and I did not think so.
Oh, I heard from a few people it sucked. And
I thought it sucked very bad.
now my father-in-law is a massive fan of movies and the big Bose sound, surround sound, and he loves Marvel movies and all that. And he said he walked out. He brought 2 of our nephews and walked out. He said it was awful.
Awful characters and like awful villain and
Not
I
the
just
Black Widow, he said. Suicide Squad and Black
okay.
Widow. But Suicide Squad does nothing for the first one did nothing for me. I mean, outside of Margot Robbie, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like
it should have been all of Margot Robbie and Jared Leto. Like it was way too much Will Smith. Like loved Will Smith, but like come on. It was so much of him and whiny.
Yeah, there was a lot of that couldn't have been. I would have been happy with Mark, but then they tried doing just Margot Robbie pretty much in that Birds of Prey, and that was terrible.
I like that. I actually like that because I thought it was like straight up Harley Quinn, and then it was my girl Elizabeth Winstead. She's in so many movies, but she was in it like I don't know. I enjoyed that story because I thought it was just true gritty Harley Quinn. You know, what would she do out there? And I actually enjoyed Birds of Prey, and everyone said that sucked. See, I don't go by anyone. It's just my own personal opinion. But you know what like blows my mind? People are like really wanting a Ben Affleck Batman solo movie.
Why?
Like, we're supposed to be better, DC.
I'm not even all
Do
that excited
better.
for this Robert Pattinson thing. Pattinson, whatever. I'm not really excited for that either.
Apparently, it's really good, though. Like, what?
Hello, Mr. J.
You're just on with the impressions, huh?
I know, right? I love me some Harley Quinn. I'm a big fan of the character. But yeah, like Ben Affleck's Batman, like that Batman v Superman. And I got to tell you, and I mean this sincerely, not from a perverted standpoint, but seriously, if it wasn't for Wonder Woman, that movie would have been awful.
What
I
one?
thought Batman v Superman. I thought she was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, and like the Wonder Woman movie was good. The second one sucked.
I
Why
didn't see
can't
the
they
second
just get shit together like Marvel does? I don't know. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. He's like the best. He is Superman. Jesus Christ, look at him. But I don't know.
Again, a pretty man in a tight blue suit still isn't doing it for you.
The movie, it sucks, and the writing sucks, and I don't know how to help them. Like, you have comic books to work off of. What is so hard about this?
There is great thing. Spider-Man, outside of that Amazing Spider-Man with that Garfield kid, outside of that, they've done a wonderful job.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Tom Holland, he's a great Spider-Man. Like, why can't they just be why can't you be more like your older brother?
I know, right?
Jeez.
Marvel will always be superior. Let's shout out those who shout out back at us, our likes and loves and people who tune in. So big thank you to Bridget Marie, live from Disney. Heather Petrovia Kimball, thank you, Heather. Love you. Jim Hutton, our former Yo showist, Jim Hutton from the Moist Collective. Thank you. Todd West in the house. Todd, my man. Nothing like really gets me geeked up like these. Like a thumb and a leg from Connie Giordano.
Oh.
Good old mayor of Easttown tuning in. Our man, one of the superstar guitarists himself, Tom Nuspickle, in the house. My wife, Cassie. Jaden Vaccaro, Ricky's son. I said, Ricky, your son watches more than you do, Rick. What's up with that? Sean Kennedy. Sean's graduated high school with my wife. I met him this past weekend at the NAC. The NAC had a back-in-the-day 80s party, and next weekend they're having a back-in-the-day 90s party. Joel
What?
Katie. Packed. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep you posted. That's going to be awesome.
This weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend is the 90s. Last weekend was the 80s. It was terrific.
No, like this coming weekend or like
No,
next week?
the weekend after that is the 90s one.
Because next Friday is James Kennedy.
That's right. I gotta go.
Are we doing that? We can do James Kennedy and then the neck.
That sounds good to me.
Dude, we had this 90s party in college. I mean, I had the bandana, I had the big baggy jeans, dressing like TLC. Love it.
Austin in the house. Austin, we love you as well. Casey in the house. Hi. Hi, James. James. It's awesome. Thank you for watching. I know Casey very well. Casey and Tommy, they're my peeps. I love them. You know, it's funny. We got tickets to go see the Goo Goo Dolls with Tommy and Casey. And my wife's like, "Yeah, we remember Goo Goo Dolls coming up. Remember Goo Goo Dolls coming up." He texted me the other day. He's like, "Dude, you know the Goo Goo Dolls concert is until next year."
Oh my
It's
God.
actually 2022. We were getting like all stoked up for it and all.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's next year. It sucks, man. I was like really excited too. I like Goo Goo Dolls.
Alanis is next weekend with Garbage. I would love to go to that.
I've seen Garbage open for somebody before, and they're terrific. I like them. I love her. I can't remember. Yeah,
I'd
but
love to
it
see
turns
her.
out that conference next year. Cassie has tickets to Alanis Morissette. I'm not sure if she's going or not. I know she has a ticket.
Damn. What day is that?
I don't remember. Everything in August is getting kind of clogged.
Oh, I think that's the 26th. Okay.
Is it clogged up? We also got. I don't want to miss the shout out. A little love from Sharon Tatey. No angry face anymore. Another Tatey. Darren I can never get this poor guy's name. Darren Melchior, who is part of this Sharon Leah program. Tuning in with some love. We thank you very much. Matter of fact, I got to get in touch with Sharon because she mentioned me and Jewel making an appearance on Backstage with Sharon Leah, which I would love. Remember that studio when she came on our show? I love that studio.
Hey, right there.
Can't wait. And of course, Earl Reigns. So Casey, yeah, I mean, I was bummed too. I'm like, man, I'm so psyched. And he's like, yeah, you know, it's next year. I'm like, next year. So of course I asked Cassie, I'm like, Cass, you know that concert's next year? She's like, yeah, no. I'm like, what? I'm like getting all stoked for it, and it's not even for a year yet.
Oh my God, guess what I just got a refund for? Vita and the Wolf from last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You didn't miss it. We're still here, Jen. You didn't miss it. We got a couple minutes left. Thank you for tuning in. I know. It was Casey, trust me. Only Tommy can get that wrong, and I love him for it. I love those guys. They're great. I really do. Jen, you look great as always. Excuse me.
Let me get a compliment. You always get the compliments.
How do I look? You always do. I'm like ugly. All right. Okay. So James is your son. So I thought, and he's a big fan. Thank you, James.
Oh.
He likes checking out those Funko Pops. All the youngsters. I gotta watch my language sometimes because everybody's like, "Oh, my son watches," and here I am, lousy now.
I did promise I would show these off. Joey and my niece Madeline painted these. These are my man cave or woman cave because they're going to my sea-themed bathroom. Sorry for the plastic. Sea-themed bathroom because
Are you
my
getting it? It sounds like you're making a mess over there.
My bathroom is all sea-themed now, but Joey painted me that mermaid.
Aww.
And then my niece painted me this one. Isn't
I
that
love
beautiful?
it.
It's a rainbow one, and then Joey painted me as a mermaid.
That is awesome. I do love it.
So
Kids.
cute.
So
I had to show
talented.
them off. I promised her I would. My niece is like, you better show these off on the O show. I'm like, I will.
It's awesome. We love it.
The
love
kids.
We love our creative kids. I'm still waiting. Jen Himes, not to call you out, but I'm still waiting for how I look tonight. I don't blame you.
I just showed off your mermaid.
Beauty and the Beast on this program.
Come on, wrap it up with me.
All right, so we got a few minutes to go. Let's take a look at what is coming up because we have another guest announcement as well, and we're doing something a little bit different next week. And I had to run it by the boss, Jewel, to make sure it was okay. She said it's okay, so we're gonna fill you in on that right now. A couple comments came in real quick, and Jen said, "Look handsome with hard eyes." Thank you. Earl said, "I will compliment you, Jewel, but don't want you to feel that I am flirting. So I'm just gonna say it this once. You're a movie star, pretty. Oh, she is movie star pretty.
Thanks,
She is the second prettiest person on this show. You know what I'm talking about, Earl. Let's take a look at who is coming up, and we got a double header next week. I want to tell everybody why they're here. We got a double header next week. We're going to do Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Tuesday night, of course, Jewel Tatey, myself, will be here on the program on the 24th, and we welcome, oh my God, Jewel, I'm so excited for this. I can't stand it. Like I'm quaking and shaking for the anticipation. The lead singer of Infected Rain, the one and only Miss Lena Scissorhands, is going to be on our program next week. Look at, I love the hair.
Oh, that's
super
cute.
hot, super sexy,
For a
awesome rock
mermaid.
star. Oh, I love Lena Scissorhands. I'm so stoked for this. It took tons of emails back and forth for her to finally say, yeah, I can do it. And you know what, Jewel? I've heard from 3 other people in the podcast community that they all tried to get her after hearing she was going to be on here. And she said, I can't do it. Going on tour. The Yo Show is the last show I do before I hit tour. How freaking awesome is that?
That is amazing. So excited.
24th, the amazing Miss Lena Scissorhands. She's pretty, you're sexy. I can't spell sexy, but sexy is unperfed. Thank you, Governor Cuomo.
Yeah.
Well, that was a rough 30 seconds. So we're doing that on the 24th. On the 25th, we have a double whammy, double header. And one of our absolute favorite people in the entire show is going to be with us, kind of standing in for Jewel, but she's more or less here promoting her own stuff. It's going to be podcaster Tina Marie Trimpert. Her brand new program is Ascend and Conquer. She's going to be here promoting that, as well as a guest we were supposed to have a while back, a terrific actress who has finally found time to come on with us. The amazing Jessica Morris will be here as well. I have a picture somewhere, do I not? Do I not have the picture? I don't have a picture. What the hell did I do there? I actually made a special picture just for that. It's gone. Anyway, on the 25th, it'll be actress Jessica Morris. She's got some brand new stuff out. She's awesome. And I'm going to be joined in Jules' place, although nobody takes Jules' place, but Tina will be here co-hosting. We're going to be promoting her show, talking all about it, and pushing her because she's tremendous and a very positive attitude and somebody we would love here on the show. So we're going to be doing that on the 25th. So 2 shows next week. Make sure you get here. Lots more stuff to talk about. August 31st, we are joined by singer Dondi. That'll be our last Tuesday, possibly before we switch. I don't know what we're going to do. We might do 2 shows. We might do 2 guests in a night. We might go back to Tuesday. We might go to Wednesday. You know where to find us. We're going to tell you. It's going to be all over social media. But August 31st is Dondi. And again, when I Google Dondi, there's 8 million people who look like they could be Dondi, so I don't put a picture up. I don't get the wrong person.
Yep.
September 8th, one from my man Earl, the one and only, the lovely local singer Laura Cheadle is going to be in our program. We are super excited for that as well. She's a doll. Check out that picture. I love her. I love a female that can rock some black leather pants. Of course, I'm not going to say that night, but September 15th, Joel, this is awesome. We got an awesome guest coming on the 15th. Cellist Sarah Chappie. Now, not only does she tour at Aerosmith, but she just got hired as part of the instrumental team for the Las Vegas Raiders. She plays in Raiders Stadium during Raiders games. That is massive. That is so cool. I can't wait to talk to her about that. She just got into that gig, did her first preseason with them the other day. She's going to be on the show like superstar celebrities, man, getting on.
That's badass.
It's so awesome. And I'm like, I can't even talk about it. I get so pumped, so I can't wait for that. We got a couple shows scheduled for late September. We got some PR people working on the guests. We'll get them to you. October 13th, we are here. The Guinness Book of World Record holder for the most Funko Pops. No, it's not me. It's the one and only Mr. Paul Scardino. He's going to be in our program. I got to show you this picture because he's got the Guinness Book of World Records. He's got all his Funko Pops. He takes them out of the box. Paul's going to come on. He's going to talk about his record. He's going to talk about being part of Guinness. He's going to talk about his Facebook Funko Pop page and all the great things he does for the Funko community. You know, I'm a Funko junkie. Jules got some as well. We get into it, and we can't wait to talk to Paul on October the 13th.
I hope they made him a Funko Pop. That's what they should do.
I don't think they have yet. They definitely should, but I don't know if they have yet.
I should draw him as well.
You know what? I'm not kidding around. You really should. I think he would love that.
I would. Get his address. I'll send him something.
For the love of goodness. You know what I hate? Like when you're on Facebook and you got like a video stuck. And there we go. I can't because I got to look something up free as well. Another announcement I want to make. We do have something coming up October 20th. This is huge also. Like this one's freaking awesome. Again, nervous for it. And it's so far down the line, but I'm still stoked. Lead singer of Edge of Paradise, Margarita Monet, is going to be in our program. There she is. I love her, and I love this band. They are super cool, and I cannot wait to get on the program. Jewel, we have an announcement for October 27th as well. I don't have the picture yet, I forgot to put up the picture, but I spoke to this young woman a lot over the last couple days. She has starred in several B horror movies over the last 2 years. She's super cool, big into the horror scene. She's going to come do our Halloween special in-house this year. Well, not in-house, but in-house. We're going to actually have a horror guest this year on Halloween.
Maybe don't tell her that she's in B horror movies.
What do you mean?
She knows. The B ones.
Well, no, the B ones are the good ones. They're
they're
real,
the scary ones.
Yeah, they're the real gory ones. And we talked about that. I'm like, yeah, you like B movies. She's like, oh man, it's some of the stuff is just wild. Her name is Lydia Manson, Manson. She is a cutie too. And she's going to be on our program talking about her horror movies. And I love it, man. I'm so stoked because Austin does his horror show, Horror Night Podcast. He gets great horror guests, and we always try. And every year we hear, well, you're a little late for Halloween. Sorry. This year we got Lydia with plenty of time to spare, and we're going to talk horror movies October 27th. And then we got just so many more guests and so many more people to get on. We might do 2 guests in a night. That's kind of make up for all the people we got coming on. We got so much going on, Jewel. How are we going to handle it?
A lot. It'll be a busy fall.
It is going to be a busy fall. And, of course, let's not forget, again, I'm going to repost this because it's very dear and deep to me, and I absolutely love it. It is the announcement, of course. It's Loso Brewing Company. There's a little shot of the door. Your future home, everybody. And let's get that up right there. 1850 Brownsville Road. Come on by and check it out before it's built. See how it was from the beginning. 1850 Brownsville Road. Go to www.losobrewingcompany.com. Check out the variety of beers and the great places you can currently try them and sample them and keep up to date on the opening of Loso Brewing Company. Coming to Trevose, Feasterville area, Bucks County, which is where me and Jewel come out of, Bucks County as well. Very exciting. Okay. A huge thank you goes out, of course, to our absolutely amazing guest tonight, Miss Chrissi Poland. We thank you very much. Of course, the new EP is Destination Home, and it drops October 22nd. She likes building anticipation, laying a little bit out. So she's playing a game with you. Make sure you get ready for October 22nd for her to drop. Check out www.chrissipoland.com. Brand new single we played for you tonight is called Wanna Be You. It's out right now on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and all the other great places you can download music. Check her out on Facebook at Chrissi Poland, Instagram at Chrissi Poland. Excellent program, Jewel. I almost don't want to go home.
I had fun tonight.
I had a lot of fun. I always have fun. It's always great being here on Tuesday nights. And
highlight of my week.
Tis the highlight of my week as well. As you can tell by the time I stick the St. Ricketts banner up there, it means it's time to get the hell out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Chrissy. Thank you, of course, to Jewel Tatey, just the absolute co-hostess with the mostest and just a lovely partner to have each and every week here on the Yo Show. We will see you next week.
Oh my God, I made it to the end.
You made it to the end. First time in like 3 weeks.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. We love it. Don't forget, again, doubleheader next week. We will see you. Best radio show. Earl, tell your friends, man. This is our dream. Well, besides the brewery, it's also our dream. We'll see you next weekend. Doubleheader Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, Lena Scissorhands from, I forgot the name of the band already. I suck. Lena, shoot me later. She hates me already. Lena Scissorhands, of course, from Infected Rain. I'm so sorry. I lose track. And then Saturday, Wednesday. I'm getting the hell out of here, Joel. That's what I have when I don't know when to cut myself off. All right, we got one more comment. Much love, guys. Thank you, Earl. Thank you for keeping it clean to end the show.
Yeah, almost.
You're man. We love you, Earl. All right, everybody, have a great evening. Let's get some St. Ricketts, Joel. Let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Bye.
Bye. Let me get back to the beginning, so I'll start in the middle like I always do. Hit it. Hey, first the volume's not up.
Truly blessed, and the taste of it poison deeper reach new heights of love. So